en un hombre extranjero?
Sí.
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 Sí. Sí.
Sí.
¿Qué les atrae más de un hombre extranjero?
Que son muy detallistas y muy amorosos.
A mí me atrae que sí, el aspecto físico son muy lindos y también conocer otra cultura me gustaría mucho.
Bueno, a mí que son muy detallistas y son altos, son lindos.
A mí sí, el físico, que son diferentes a los de acá.
Que como persona, ellos tienen como la forma de ser muy diferente a como somos nosotros, pero mientras él sea respetuoso y lleve todo a su debido tiempo, me llamaría mucho la atención.
Me atraería que me enseñe cosas nuevas de la cultura de la persona. Eso me gustaría.
¿Qué cualidad debe tener un extranjero para conquistar?
Tiene que ser muy activo. O sea, de cualquier país del mundo tiene que ser una persona muy activa y muy conversadora.
Que sea demasiado respetuoso y muy cariñoso.
Sí, que sea caballeroso y ante todo tolerante.
Que sea caballeroso, respetuoso, detallista, amable.
Sí, que sea caballeroso y respetuoso.
Físicamente que sea muy organizado, la sonrisa me parece que es algo fundamental y que pues no sé cómo decirlo.
¿Qué?
Que tenga, porque si yo soy una persona que estoy dispuesta a darle a él, también quiero recibir de él.
Si un extranjero te gusta, ¿cómo lo enamorarías?
Mostrándole el buen trato, el cómo, no sé.
Como somos acá en nuestra cultura, todo.
Eso, lo que podríamos lograr, lo que podríamos conocer, no sé.
Pues yo con mi carisma, mi alegría, yo soy una mujer muy amorosa, entonces lo conquistaría así dándole mucho amor y obviamente respeto.
Bueno, a mí me gusta mucho mimarlos. Yo lo mimaría bastante y lo respetaría mucho también.
Yo no, con mucho amor. Pues es que yo soy más bien como simple, pero sí, con mucho amor.
Sí, siendo cariñosa, amorosa, respetándolo, demostrándole pues la cultura de acá.
Yo creería que yo a un extranjero lo enamoraría por mi forma de ser, siendo tierna, cariñosa, tratándolo bien, haciéndolo sentir muy especial.
Siendo muy amable, muy atenta y muy cariñosa.
No sé, saliendo con él, conversando, hablando, dándole algún detalle, de pronto una persona que lo tiene todo, algún detalle mínimo lo puede llenar, puede ser.
Siendo muy honesta, realmente digamos que siempre he creído que las cosas fluyen entre las personas, creo muchísimo en la energía, entonces no me gusta forzarlo. Es más como si la persona realmente me interesa, pues me gusta estar pendiente, ser comunicativa, pasar tiempo juntos, conocernos y que las cosas como que se vayan dando poco a poco.
Yo creo que nosotras las paisas tenemos algo muy puntual para llamar la atención de ellos, pero no sé, siento que me esforzaría muchísimo porque ellos piensan que por ser extranjeros tienen que darnos a nosotras, entonces me gustaría que él se sintiera como especial de que nosotras también podemos darles a ellos.
Hola, mi nombre es Mariana, tengo 27 años, trabajo como analista financiera, estudio administración financiera. En mis tiempos libres me encanta hacer ejercicio, leer y yoga. También meditar, escuchar mucho música. Tengo para ofrecer estabilidad, soy una mujer atenta, cariñosa, soy una persona alegre, paciente, amorosa. Mi cita ideal, me gustaría en un buen lugar, que me traten respetuosamente, que nos conozcamos lentamente. Mi corazón se gana siendo muy respetuosos, respetando sobre todo mi espacio, brindándome mucha paz, felicidad, se huela bueno, que sea súper atento, detallista y sobre todo cariñoso. Invito a todos los caballeros a que conozcan Colombia, su cultura. Soy abierta también a recibir sus mensajes, llamadas y aquí los espero.
Hola, my name is Michael. I'm born and raised in New York. I'm 21 years old with 28 years experience, so if you're good at math, you can figure that out. I have recently relocated to Medellin from Florida.
What motivated you to join a foreign affair?
When I'm interested in something, I will invest a bunch of time investigating, reading, watching videos, testimonials, and I can't tell you how I stumbled across the AFA. It was either a YouTube video or a search on the internet. But as I explored the website and saw the content and understood better what AFA was offering, as well as the testimonials from people, other clients, my confidence grew more and more. I also had an opportunity to interact with your founder, John Adams, and that meant a lot to me when somebody who started the company was willing to make time for me to answer my questions.
How was your experience meeting your partner for the first time on the tour organized by a foreign affair?
So I got to meet Francie at the second social. And I saw her right away sitting at a table before the event started, and she saw me, and we would make eyes, but I did not walk over to her and contact her. I waited my turn till it was time to sit at that table and interact. The funny thing that happened is when my translator was done telling a little bit about me, I asked the women to each take a turn and tell me a little bit about themselves. And the one woman sitting at the table said, "There is no reason for us to tell about ourselves. We know you're here only interested in one woman." And it made me laugh, and I asked, "Does it say Francie on my forehead?"
What differences did you find between what you learned about her through the letters, and how was the in-person meeting?
So Francie and I did not interact that many times via the letters. So I found her in a search of the database, based on my search criteria. I wrote to her one time, introduced myself, explained to her that I was coming to Medellin for the tour, and I would like the opportunity to meet her. I didn't know whether she would participate in any of the socials, but regardless, I would love the opportunity to get to know her. She wrote me back. I think I wrote one more time when I was getting closer to coming to Medellin for my first time for the tour. But as you know, they don't always tell you who's invited and whether the women you would like to come to one of the socials have accepted or not, right? They keep that kind of classified or a secret. And so it was a surprise for me to see her on the second night at the social, and we got to interact a little bit. But obviously when you have to move around and make time for each table and meet other guests there, I didn't get to invest too much time with her. But from then on is when we started to grow the relationship.
How would you describe the transition from letter communication to a face-to-face relationship? Was it easy to adapt?
As I mentioned, Francie and I did not exchange a lot of letters prior to me visiting here. So I didn't learn a lot about her. I accepted what was in her profile. She said she was pleased to meet me and looking forward to meeting me. So I just waited for the social. At the social, she was as beautiful as in her pictures. So I was pleased to know that there's not a bunch of filters used in the girls' photos. There were other women that I recognized at the social either night, and they looked like their pictures. So that says something for how AFA represents the women that they have on their site. And so for the communication, Francie speaks Spanish and no English, and Michael speaks English and un poquito Spanish. So we use a translator a lot. We used a translator on our first date. She was very nervous. but we made a commitment to work towards learning each other's language, and here we are, 5 months later, and we continue to communicate as best we can. And if there's a will, there's a way. That's what I will tell you.
What aspects of Colombian culture and life in Medellin surprised you when you moved and started your relationship here?
So I think I mentioned that I'm a person that tends to immerse myself. So I will do the research, I will read up, I will watch videos. So there were many things that I had learned about Medellin before I got here, including that not many people speak English, but I was very surprised when I go to the bank or to the phone company to open an account that nobody can help me or speak English. So it's very different in the United States. There will be at least one person that speaks Spanish in most businesses to help for non-English speaking people. The country is as beautiful as they told me it would be. I did not spend a lot of time sightseeing. I focused my time here on AFA, but also seeing what life would be like living here. So I went to look at apartments, I went to the supermarket, I joined the gym. I wanted to spend my time seeing what it would be like for me to live here, knowing that if I relocate here, I will have the rest of my life to do the sightseeing. So the people and the culture are all very friendly and helpful. I have made more friends here in Medellin in the few visits that I've had over the past 5 months than I had made in Florida in 2.5 years.
What challenges did you face in forming a relationship with a Colombian woman, if any, compared to your previous relationships?
I would say that the biggest challenge is obviously the language barrier. And I met a lot of nice women during the 2 socials, many of which spoke English. They were very self-conscious about their English. My English is not so good, but their English was fine. I could understand them. So trying to grow a relationship between somebody that lives in a different country with a different culture and a different way of life can be challenging. But as I said, all of that can be overcome. The language barrier was difficult for us, so we use a lot of translator. But we made a commitment. We FaceTimed every day that it was possible to try and just visit with each other and ask each other about our daily lives. How was your day today? How did this go? What's going on? And as normal as you could, having a long-distance relationship with 2 people that don't speak the same language.
How has your perspective on international relationships changed after your experience with a foreign affair?
So after my first tour with AFA and seeing that AFA was everything it said it was, everything that it advertises and it tells you about the services, the commitments it makes, it lived up to my expectations. It actually exceeded my expectations. The people were very nice. It was a great opportunity to visit another country, to meet people from a different culture, a different language. And I don't have a problem with international dating. It's frustrating for the distance or the language barrier, but as I said before, you know, there is nothing gained if you don't take a chance.
What advice would you give to other men who are considering using a foreign affair to meet women in Colombia?
So for the other men out there that have researched AFA and maybe invested some time in the profiles or writing the girls, that part is great. It's building a foundation. It's getting more familiar with the website and the tools and things that are available to you. But at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to form a relationship from many miles away. You're going to have to come here. The women want to know that you're willing to invest time in getting to know them and their country, their family, the things that are important to them. I think it would be difficult or a stretch for a man from another country to want to come here one time, meet a woman, and then expect her to pack up everything and move to the country that they live in. That would be unrealistic. I think there needs to be some compromise and meeting in the middle, and make a commitment to try and learn about each other, and then see where it goes from there.
Now that you are in Medellin, how do you plan to take your relationship to the next level?
Okay, so since I have returned to Medellin with the intention of staying here and buying an apartment and making this my home away from home, I think our relationship is elevated because we're able to be involved in each other's daily lives. So before, we used to have to count down the days to when is going to be my next visit to Colombia. We have to do video chat or just messaging through WhatsApp. But now we can do things together, you know, whether it's to go to the grocery store or run errands, or help me open a bank account, or I'm having trouble with my phone service. We can do things like a normal couple that would do things together when they're in the same place. Again, we still have the language barrier, but we're still able to enjoy each other's company and better understand our personalities, how we communicate, what we enjoy doing, you know, so all of that is much better since I'm here.
What would you say to someone who is hesitant about participating in a tour or using the letter service of a foreign affair?
There's anyone that knows me that knows that I think very highly of AFA. I've actually been a part of 2 tours. I went to Costa Rica approximately 5 years ago, and then to Colombia late in 2024. Each experience was a good one. My experience here in Medellin, a little bit better, and that's why I've decided to relocate here. But for the men that are skeptical, I understand, you know, it's their money, it's far away. Is AFA just trying to make money? They come here, then they don't meet anyone, or they don't have a good time. I think it's almost impossible not to meet someone when you come here, even if it's just to grow a friendship. I came here with an open mind that every connection is not going to be a love connection, okay? There are going to be women that are interested in me that I'm not interested in them romantically, but I'm always open to making friends. And so for me, AFA worked 100%. I've made some good friends. I have made a love connection. And as I said, it's everything I thought it would be and more. If you don't want to get caught up in writing the letters forever. I wrote letters to many people. It helped me get to know them. It helped me to know whether this is somebody I want to get to know more. But there are going to be other women you have the opportunity to meet when you go to the social, and you want to give those people a chance. The events that you have planned, the dates that your AFA is willing to help set up in all different types of atmospheres is really helpful. So like I said, I don't think that you can help but be successful. I can't guarantee you love on your first visit to any AFA social or AFA event, but I don't think you'll be disappointed. There will be many opportunities. It's up to the client to determine what they want to do with those opportunities.